Hey, what's up everybody? Ori here from Lift Yourself Fitness. I just wanted to make a quick video going over pull-up form. This way you can get the most out of your pull-up because it's one of the most important bodyweight exercises that you can do, and I see a lot of common mistakes. So let's go over those. And then I'm going to show you the 2 ways that I like to do pull-ups. So first, let's correct some of the common mistakes. One thing you should really know is the difference between a passive hang and an active hang. So let's start with that. Passive hang is just a dead hang, just like this. An active hang is where you activate your back muscles by pulling your shoulder blades together and downwards. You pull yourself into an active hang. And so just think of doing a shoulder shrug, scapular shrugs. So you get yourself into an active hang, and this is going to activate your back muscles, and then we're going to do a pull-up from there. And so the first common mistake that I see are elbows flaring out. So this is what you do not want to do. Don't let your elbows flare out to the sides like that, but rather keep your elbows close to your sides. So imagine your elbows are coming straight down and then together on your lower back. Imagine like you're trying to touch your elbows together at the low end of your back. Of course, it's never going to happen, but having that mindset might help you keep your elbows close to your side. Common mistake number 2 is not doing a full range of motion. And this can be from above or below. So you'll see this very frequently. You'll see people doing like this, or like this. Both of which are an incomplete range of motion. And even if you can't do a full pull-up yet, then you should be doing body rows rather than doing incomplete ranges of motion. You should be doing body rows with full range of motion and progressing until you can do a full range of motion pull-up. Starting from a passive hang, then going to an active hang, pulling all the way up, and coming all the way back down, back into the passive hang. Now I choose to come back all the way down into the dead passive hang because I feel like this works my joints and my shoulders more. And well, in order for a muscle to produce force, it must first be lengthened. And so starting from a dead hang, this ensures that my lats are lengthened and ready for full contraction all the way from the start. So dead hang, activate, active hang, pull up, come all the way back down, and controlled, release the active hang back to a passive hang, then reactivate. The important thing is to do this controlled. Don't just fall into a dead hang. Don't do this. Don't just fall. Make sure your pull-ups are nice and controlled, all the way up and all the way down. I prefer to explode on the way up and then come down a little bit slower. So I'm dead hang, activate, come down nice and controlled, release. So make sure your pull-ups are nice and controlled all the way up and all the way down. Don't just fall against gravity. Activate. This also means no kipping. It's another common mistake I see, or something you see a lot in CrossFit, which I have no idea why they do that, but don't do it because you're taking away the focus on your back and you're not learning how to control your body this way. So a kip looks like this. It's where you use your feet to kick up to help give you momentum to do a pull-up. having trouble even doing a kip because I've never done them that way, and you shouldn't either. And so, moving on, another thing that you should do is keep your legs and your feet together. And when you have your legs together, squeeze your glutes. Make sure they're activated and try to point your toes. This is going to make sure you're one strong, stable unit, and it's going to help you control your body better. You're going to have a more fluid pull-up. Now, this is hard to do on a shorter pull-up bar. As you can see, I couldn't do it on the other one because I'm forced to put my legs behind my back. But if you have a tall pull-up bar, or you can hang your rings over something high, then I recommend keeping your legs and your feet together. Don't just let them dangle there. Don't let them hang apart. Also, when you're gripping the bar, make sure that your thumb wraps around the bar. Clench tight, and when you lower, keep that strong grip, as opposed to having your thumb above the bar. Some people like to start off like this. I wouldn't recommend it because when you're progressing into more advanced moves such as skin the cat or a back lever, you're going to want to have that grip to ensure that your hands don't slip off. So the last thing is to avoid your shoulders from rounding. Don't pull up and let your shoulders go like this. Don't do this. If you notice, when I pulled up, my shoulders kind of came in, rounded out, my upper back rounded. Rather, keep them retracted the entire time. So your shoulders should be back the entire pull-up, and they should not round off when you get to the top. So this is the first way that I love doing pull-ups, by putting most of the focus entirely on my back, by aiming my chest to the bar, arching my upper back, which is entirely safe because there's no load on it. So my feet are kind of back, my chest is aimed towards the bar, and I pull up while keeping that arch in my upper back and trying to touch my chest to the bar, rather than pulling up straight, like pulling up like. As you can notice the difference. And so that is the first way I love doing pull-ups. This puts most of the focus on your back, and it allows for full scapular retraction, which will work your middle traps and rhomboids and work them more efficiently than just pulling straight up. More of your back muscles are engaged, and for me, that's one of my main reasons for doing pull-ups, is to work my back. That's my favorite way. And so the second way I like doing pull-ups is by adding a posterior pelvic tilt, which I talk a lot about in my handstand videos. And so by adding a posterior pelvic tilt, we're keeping a core isometric hold the entire time. So I'm hanging, going to my posterior pelvic tilt, which is basically a very low L-sit. So you're holding that the entire time. Your glutes are activated, squeezed tight, your legs are together, your toes are pointed. And just holding this right here, you get that activation in the core And so starting from a dead hang, just like our other pull-up, we activate by shrugging our shoulders. And then pull up. So with this way, you're pulling a little more straight up rather than aiming your chest to the bar. You're pulling straighter rather than like this. So that's the second way I prefer doing regular pronated grip pull-ups. A little less focus on your back muscles, but you get that core workout. So now you know my two favorite ways of doing your normal pronated grip pull-ups, to either put the focus on your back or put the focus on your core, and you should do both of them. And you know the proper form so that you can perform them. I keep hearing like noises inside this trailer. Weird. And a quick recap, keep your elbows close to your side. Don't let them flare out. Use a full range of motion, starting from a passive hang, going to that active hang. Pull all the way up. Come down nice and controlled. Don't just fall. Keep your feet together. Create a strong, stable unit. No kipping. This means no swinging, no using your feet to kip up for momentum. Avoid your shoulders rounding at the end. Keep your shoulders back the entire time. All right, I think that's it. So remember those things, apply them, and you'll get a more efficient workout from your pull-up session. And if you want to learn more about the different types of pull-up grips and the benefits of each one, well, I'll put a link in the description on a video about that as well. So make sure you check it out.